Hey guys! The Create mode is amazing as it provides an infinite number of ways to design what you're trying to make. So in this video, I'd like to show you 10 different ways to make an all-purpose item smelter. First on the list, we have the early furnace. Early as this is most likely the one you're going to make when you're starting your world. Your resources are limited. You just need a fan blowing into lava. You only need to dump your items in front of it. You wait for a few seconds and then everything gets smelted. This design is not entirely reliable because sometimes some items get destroyed inside, so it's a bit annoying, and most of all it's not automatic, so we will quickly move on to the second entry on this list. Here we have the belt furnace. It's quite simple and straightforward. You have 4 fans blowing into lava to speed up the smelting process. You put some items to be smelted inside the first crate, slowly make its way on the belt, getting smelted, and in the end it gets picked back by this crate. We are losing out a bit on the speed front compared to the first one, but this one is fully automatic, it works, it's your run-of-the-mill smelter that most people are using. It does the job. The only thing you have to be mindful of is make sure your funnels are pointing in the right direction with your wrench, and the belt have to be at the appropriate speed so the items have enough time to get smelted before being picked back. Now, if you want to combine both speed and automatic, you can go for the heavy-duty furnace. In here we have 4 fans blowing into lava on top of this iron bar. The one below is going full speed to make sure the items do not fall into the lava. And we have this one here at a speed of 7, slowly pushing the items on top of this depot. And here it's going, slowly making its way in front of us. It gets smelted in the process and goes inside at full speed. Honestly, I don't think you can make something that's much faster than this one. The issue with the smelter is that it has a big flow. A flow that it shares with the 2 previous models. They are boring. The Create mode gives us a lot of tools, so you can make your contraption really efficient, but also good looking, fancy, and sometimes derpy, so it would be a real shame not to make use of it, even if we have to sacrifice some of the efficiency in the process. And let's be real, you don't need something as fast as this. If we go for a design that does get rid of any form of efficiency, we have the cooking stove. You can go for a nice kitchen design like this. You have a bunch of cooking stove. You place your steak on it, and it simply gets cooked. Nice! All you need to have is simply a fan blowing into a blaze burner or simply fire below your cooking stove, the depot on top of it, and it's done. You can make something similar for some kind of forge setup. You place your items in here, you wait for a bit, and you have your ingots. I will have to admit this one are a bit simple and they are not automatic, so if we go this design here, we'll try to fix that. This one has a bit more fancy machinery. We have this arm taking the steak onto our cooking stove. This is waiting to get cooked. And when it's done, it bounces into this chute. All you need for this one is this content observer facing into this weighted ejector. It gets powered when there are steaks on top of it, or any kind of cookable items. Then we have 30-second repeater that sends a signal in this redstone here that unpower our ejector so we can send the items inside the chute. And we have an automatic cooking station. Now, if we try to take this concept on a bigger scale, we are starting to get into the more industrial smelters. We have this model here, where you input your items in this barrel, press one button here, it gets evenly distributed on top of here, it started the smelting, and after a few seconds, everything ends up in this chute. Even though this one design here is not nearly as fast as some of our previous designs, I'd still trade them for one of these bad boys anytime. It's way more amazing and amusing to look at. The way it works is exactly the same as the previous one. We have a content observer in front of each on every single one of the ejectors there, all linked to this redstone line, going into the adjustable pulse repeater with the time it takes for the stack of item to smelt. It then unpowers the ejectors so they can send the items and sends the next batch of items. We also lock and unlock the fan here, so the items do not get pushed when they are being dispensed to the next injector instead of the one where they are supposed to land. The next one on the list is a bit of an odd one, but it actually works very well. So let me put some items inside. Here, instead of using a redstone timer to know when the items are smelted, we are using the time it takes for these blocks to be drilled to know when the items are smelted. And this one is actually really fast too. And you can even, place some items in. The smelting process started, and if you had another batch of items, it actually waits for the previous one to be finished. The items are placed back here, and then it starts dropping them. This one might be my favorite of the lot. The redstone behind is a bit messy at the moment. It could probably be done more neatly. I'm not going to detail everything here. I will leave the link to download the Word in the description so you can figure out how everything works. Nothing mind-blowing here. The next one I've already showcased in another video, so you can check it out to find out its inner workings. It works very well on a big factory chain context with several contraptions next to one another. It's probably one of the most visually pleasing ones. And finally, we have the not at all over-engineered one, the Vacuum Smelter. The name is actually a bit garbage, but I couldn't find another one, so let's go with it. I'm just going to let you watch as the magic unfolds. I love this smelter. Now, the way it works, when the items get to the top here, this arm divides them between all these crates there. The items first goes down the chute here. It sends the signals here to have a delay to detect when it's finished cooking. And when it's done, it sends a signal here to reverse the side of this chute. And the items gets pulled up to here, then falls down on this belt and ends up on the crate here. So there you have it, guys. This was my take on how to smelt items with the create mode. I hope this has given you ideas on how to make fancy smelter systems. Feel free to tell me which one is your favorite, I'd be curious to know. Also, if you have some other ideas on how to smelt items, I'd be glad to hear your thoughts on it. You can download the word in the description. Goodbye!